Hi everyone. I'm pretty sure at some point in your life recently, you probably heard of NFT, especially Bored Ape Yacht Club. And when you look online, or probably on OpenSea in this case, and you look through their artworks, you'll be like, why they're all almost look the same, and what's so unique about them? Um, well, of course, this tutorial is not going to be talk about exactly the uniqueness about the artwork. We're going to talk about how can we create an NFT artwork generator to generating the similar stuff. So I looked online a little bit and I found a YouTube channel called Hashlips, and they provide really great detailed tutorial about how can you create the NFTR generator or engine, and how can you distribute them to the blockchain, etc. Why don't we start to creating our own NFTR generator in the Swift language? So here I create a sample project here, and I will link the project in my description to my GitHub page. So feel free to go check it out. So here we have a really basic Swift UI app, really plain app here, just a hello world so far. Um, so we need some kind of logic so we can start to creating the NFT art generator. So for the NFT art generators, I think basically based on what I learned from Hashlibs, it's actually pretty straightforward there. They do have some tutorial there explaining how exactly, and they also have a GitHub page there. I will put those link in the description as well. But basically is a bunch of different layer of images adding up together to create a one single NFT image. So for this tutorial here, let's just do that, creating an image generator, combining all the different layers. So let's start by creating a new file, call it NFT creator, and let's just use a default initialization as well. So NFT creator, and we just need a function called create NFT, and this should return a UI image. So let's start by returning a layer of image that I got from Hashlib's sample project. So we can start to testing out the Swift code here. So as you can see, here are all the images that I got from Hashlib's sample project there. So let's try to use the a bottom high image, maybe just the red eyeball. How about this? Let's use a red eyeball, and let's start by returning this red eyeball image. So UI image and named red eyeball, and probably gonna give us a optional. So let's just return an empty image for now. Make sure everything's good. Perfect. Let's go back to content view, and let's creating our image view so we can actually see that image layer there, or the image. Let's just use the regular image. Use UI image, and we need to call NFT creator. So let's create a var on top called NFT creator, and let's just initializing it. And then we're gonna call NFT creator create NFT. All right, here you can see in the preview, here is our giant eyeball of that image layer. So what we want to do is to have many of different kind of layers that stack on top of each other, and creating a unique image, a single image that it can be exported or saved into a different folder or something like that. So the goal is to creating the one single image. So let's go back to the NFT creator here. So to create the one single image, we're gonna use something called a UI graphics. I I believe was called a UI graphics begin, image context, and with the size. So in order to do that, first we will need to create our array of layers. Layer names. Let's call layer names. So the how you stack this image, how you putting the image inside this array, it does matter, because for us, we're gonna loop through the array and trying to rejoin each layer onto a new image one by one. So we want to make sure that we planning out ahead of time. So since here it has a background, let's use the background as the initial image layer. Then followed by, we need a probably the eyeball. So red eyeball. And then we need the color of the eye. Let's choose a green eye. And then it's the little pupil thing, or iris in this case. Let's use a medium. And next, we need to use, this is a shape, shine. I think this might be like the glow on the eye thing for this shine shape. So I think we're gonna skip that. But we're gonna put at the bottom and the top lip at the last. So let's use a top middle. And then we're gonna use the bottom middle. So here should be our image layers. Our image layers name. So we want to loop through those names and start to creating a new layer image. And then of course we want to keep tracking our image, our NFT. And then we need to define a size for the image to use, because the graphic here is actually using a CG size. So let's create our NFT size. Let's define this on side of the loop so we don't call this every single time. NFT size equal to CG size. And let's use a float. Let's call it 300 and a 300. I think that should be big enough. Otherwise, we can make it some change there. So then let's pass this NFT size into it. Since we're calling this UI graphics begin, of course we need a end UI graphics in image context. And I remember we also need to grab the newly created image from it. So let's just assign the UI graphics get image from current image context to assign whatever we created to the NFT image. And it looks like this is optional here. We can just returning a NFT, the image, we keep tracking it. Just in case something failed, then we don't lose track what we previously had. So here we're gonna start to drawing the initial image. And so for the initial image, we're gonna join NFT because we're gonna use this to tracking everything. So if you are adding the black background onto this NFT image, then the image on top should be red eyeball. So once you have this both image, we store them into this NFT image. Then when we come back next time, we should be able to adding the green layer on top of it. Okay, so then let's start draw the NFT. So here is asking for a CG rect. For that, I think we can also creating here NFT rect equal to CG rect 0 0 and NFT size dot width NFT size dot height. And then we can just call NFT rect. Then after that, we're going to draw the layered image dot draw in the NFT rect as well. And then after that, we're just going to return NFT. So here we should have our logic for it. And then let's go back to the content view and hopefully this update so we can see the actual NFT got drawn here. Here we go. So here is the final version of the stacking up of all the image layer and creating the first NFT image. And as you can see in here, we're planning out our layer properly. So that you can see the background is black right there. And then next one is the eyeball, then the green color, then iris. Then after that is the top top eyelid and the bottom eyelid. But of course, depending on how you are going to be showing, you have to planning out that properly. So this is it. Here is the tutorial on how to create the first part of the NFT generator. And we're gonna continue on with the part 2. And in the part 2, we're gonna creating a list of different version, different unique NFT arts. So we're gonna do some modification with our NFT creator here. So hopefully you enjoyed the video so far. And if you do, please like and subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you guys in next video.